Step number 2, or item number 2 in the 4 futures is meaning. Now, meaning is something that, of course, is assigned. The truth is, when somebody asks, what's the meaning of life? The truth is, it's assigned. That's the second time I've said the truth is. I might have to try this over. Sorry.
That's okay. Coming in. 5, 4, 3.
Meaning. The second of the 4 futures in order of importance and weight and impact on your life. Meaning is a strange thing, and everybody seems to have an idea of what it means to them. And that makes sense, because the truth is, meaning is assigned. It's not inherent. The meaning of a bar of gold is a value assigned to it. The meaning of life is the value you assign to it. Meaning is assigned. So you get to choose what it is to you. In my version of this, it is the relationships in my life. That is where I find my meaning. And I suggest that is where you do too. Though you might think that you find meaning in the money that you make or the work that you do, it is still only ever because it is assessed, experienced, and judged by those others, the people in your life. Your meaning is how you connect with the broader world. You can't connect with things. You can only connect with people. The quality of your relationships will fundamentally dictate the meaning of your life. There's a lot of conversation in entrepreneurial circles these days about legacy. Oh, what's your legacy? How do you want to be remembered? Friends, the truth is very few people are remembered. Very few. We look at somebody like Vilfredo Pareto, came up with a fascinating principle, Pareto principle, the 80-20 principle. That's how we remember him. But it's his family of probably only 1 or 2 generations that even knew who he was. I want to suggest to you, as I had in a previous video, that if you think meaning is things, then sit on a park bench with somebody's name on it and ask yourself if it connects you to them at all. It doesn't. It's your memories of experiences, for better or for worse. So how do we incorporate this into our day-to-day actions? Well, we could do what everybody else does, which is consume more information. The idea that I need to know more. I need to watch more YouTube videos maybe, or read more books, or watch another series of videos, something like this. In the case of meaning, that has limited utility. Like anything in life, you get to a point where you have to put it into practice. So, there are certain things that you know will be helpful for you. Maybe it's the 5 love languages. Maybe it's speaking the language of the person you care about. Maybe it's insisting on the fact or the idea or the request that they speak your language. Maybe it is showing presence in your interactions. Maybe it is moving around with a mindset of forgiveness or understanding, or seeking first to be understood before seeking first to understand before you are understood. Any one of these things are your definition. But my challenge to you is to find a way to connect with somebody every day. Every day. Personally, I do a lot of silly things. I'll leave sticky notes for loved ones or employees, secret things saying, I saw what you did, that was awesome. They don't know who it's from or what it's about, but their mind immediately starts thinking of everything they did right and wrong. They do more of the former and less of the latter, consequently. I'm also a big fan of sending texts and video messages. The video message sent through a text message is the easiest thing in the world, and it is clear and accurate and unique specifically for its recipient. Hey, Mike, just thinking about you. I know you're going through some challenging times. I appreciate and respect what you did with blah, blah, blah. Nothing to share other than the fact that I'm thinking of you today. Send. Ask yourself how it would feel to receive something like that. Great. What other ways can we do it? Acknowledging somebody when they're doing something right as they do it. I joke that a lot of ways employees, friends, family members, children, humans are like puppies. You want to train them. If you want to train a puppy, you catch them doing something right, not just wrong. But that's what we do with employees. That's what we do with our family members. They don't hear from us until they screw something up, and then, boy, do they hear from us. That's totally unnecessary. Catch people doing things well. Catch someone who bags groceries with a great attitude at the grocery store and letting them know you appreciated the energy they brought to their work. Whatever it is. This is an easy way for you to create love bombs, as I think of them. These are ways to just pull a pin of affection and notification and throw it out into the world and watch what happens. Before you know it, you will get those back too, unsolicited. Just this morning, I got a text from my 16-year-old daughter saying she appreciates me. I won't lie. I dropped a couple of salties thinking about that. That was wonderful. It's amazing. And then I think, oh, of course she did that. I did that to her last week. Now, that doesn't mean it's inauthentic. No. We're creating channels of communication and heightening the expectations of our communication with each other, letting everybody know in real time that you care about them. Several years ago, 16 years and 8 months ago, my best friend called me up. I was on my way back from coaching rugby in Colorado. I was the head coach at the University of Colorado at Boulder. And I was coming back. This was after a full day's work, and came off the rugby pitch, and I called my friend up. He was going through a really hard time with his wife. And they were bickering and fighting, and it looked like separation was imminent. They had 2 little boys. And I called him up, and I knew he was on the ropes. And I just told him that I loved him and I admired him for what he was doing. I could see the struggle that he was going through, trying to be a dad that was present while going through this conflict with his spouse and shielding his kids from it, something she was not working hard at doing. And as he was on the ropes and sharing his story with me, I just, as I say, told him that I respect him and I loved him. And I let him know I could see what he was going through. 48 hours later, he was killed in a car accident in New Mexico. He fell asleep at the wheel, rushing home to try to be there for his kids, an event of his child's, and wanted to surprise them. But he was too tired to be driving. He was trying so desperately to be the dad that he wanted to be. I never spoke to him again. That experience was one of the most powerful ones I've ever had, because I learned in real time what it's like to get it right. There was one thing in the face of tragedy that I happened to get right. I told him I cared about him, and I gave him my honest feelings. And to this day, I have that to hang his loss on. His loss was offset, that sadness, that horrific sadness that I felt just 2 weeks later when my daughter was born and he and I couldn't get to be dads together. But I got to share that with him. And that's mine. And it's something his wife does not have. And to this day, she is racked with guilt about how she behaved and how she connected with him in those times. A practice of mindfulness and presence, and a practice, an active daily thing, reaching out to the people you love and care about and value and admire, will pay you and the whole world dividends that you won't even see. Flowers will bloom and seeds will grow that you had no idea that you had sown. A simple thing. Shoot a message. Shoot one to me. Shoot one to an employee. Send one to Mark Costa. Send one to Kiera. Let them know you appreciate them and see how you feel. And then give yourself a little check. The best you showed up today.